Hola, buenos dias, everyone. Today I'm going to do my introduction, like only these ones in Spanish. So good afternoon, everyone. Live from the sunny Canary Islands. Another transformational talks on this Tuesday. So every week I do 2 live videos. On Tuesday I do a live video about transformational talks. So about a topic that I cover in my one-to-one programs with my clients. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about that later. And every Thursday we do a transformational truth. So that is more like a hard topic. So today I'm going to talk to you about leverage your knowledge versus leaving a legacy. And a very interesting topic that is specifically interesting for leaders and CEOs that are currently working to get more clarity on their vision and what they want to do in life, and specifically if you want to do something from your heart. This is also very relevant for organizations or leaders of organizations that need to go back to the true meaning, like what is it that we are here for. So before I jump into today's message, please let me know if you're watching live. Let me know who you are so that I know who I'm talking to live, and maybe we can even start a discussion on this topic. For the people that are watching this on replay or watching this live and don't know me, my name is Meerte. I am an almost 36-year-old from originally from Holland, Dutch entrepreneur, and I'm currently within the restrictions traveling the world to not only find even more my own voice, but also to find all those powerful female leaders out there that every day dedicate their lives for the benefit of others. And I'm really proud to be able to help them, to guide them, to advise them on their journey. And not only do I guide female leaders and entrepreneurs, I also guide organizations to the next level, mostly organizations with a social purpose. So I work on topics such as personal development, but also business development and specifically corporate social responsibility. Because, that turns out to be like the red thread in my life. So let me know if you are here live. I see people coming on now, and I'm going to jump into today's message. Today's topic is about leveraging your knowledge versus leaving a legacy. And there's a reason why I said versus, because I think, and from my experience and what I've seen, is that it all has to do with intentions and with everything in life. So before I jump in, I'm going to really quick give a little bit context around like the definition of leverage your knowledge. Hi Marielle. Nice to see you live. So what do I mean by leverage your knowledge? So what I see a lot of business coaches, for example, do is like they build a system to leverage your knowledge, meaning like a format from within you can share your knowledge, which is good. I'm not saying anything is good or bad. I don't believe in that. I'm just sharing my own vision and my own thoughts around these topics, and this will resonate most with people who also, just like myself, work from their heart, so really purpose-driven. So I'm not saying like leveraging your knowledge is a bad thing. I'm just saying it should be like a function in the bigger picture. So, and if you say leaving a legacy, what do I mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is leaving a footprint in this world, and not for the benefit of yourself, but for the benefit of others. And one of the techniques and tools you can use is to leverage your knowledge. So I don't want to make it too complicated for now, because in these videos we only touch the surface of these topics, as you know. Hey Marielle, good afternoon. I hope you're okay, lovely. I can't see your whole message, but I'm glad you're watching. I see you're doing a good job with your business as well. Keep up the good work, lady. So back to leverage knowledge and leaving a legacy. it all starts with an intention. So what is the intention that you start your business or you run your organization? So remember, like, can you remember, like, what was the time, what was the moment that you decided to start this business? Or what was the moment where you decided to work for this company? So that moment has all to do with intentions. What I see, like the way I see the market is roughly, this is really roughly in two divided in two. It's like the knowledge side, so more the driven from money, and I see driven from legacy, driven from the heart. And personally, I think you know by now that I really work for in the second one, but that doesn't mean that I exclude the first one. I'm just using it for my benefit and not as my main driver. So I hope that is making sense so far. The whole difference between those two is an intention, as I said, but it's also the approach. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that by giving you two examples of things that I did in my past. So like every video, I'm giving like personal and professional experiences, or for me, or my an example of my clients to help you get my message even better. So when we talk about leaving a legacy, I'm going to take you back to 2009 already, and I've been talking to about this example in my previous video. I can look it up. I don't remember the exact name, but it was about the time where I created like an award-winning strategy and concept for a social department of a football club. So back in the days, in 2009, there was like this trend where a lot of sport clubs like really were starting to investigate their a broader function in society. So what do I mean by that? Like instead of being only a football club playing weekly football matches, they also started to realize like how important their existence was in certain groups of society. And when I got to that football club, I decided to approach it from leaving a legacy. So how can we create an environment using sport as a tool where we can help as many people as possible? If I would have approached it from leverage my knowledge, then I would say, so what kind of programs are we going to do that will benefit our players from? And I hope you understand like the difference of approach. And one key example is like if you ask me what is my biggest accomplishment until now, I could really say that this boy is one of them. And I know I can share his story because we already did that years ago. And I see myself, I start to glow when I think about it. It's a long time ago, but it really made a difference. And I'm so happy that I chose to approach it from a place of legacy. Because when I started building this department, I really took the time to investigate, like, what is it that we can do to help different groups in society overcome certain adversities or become stronger in their emotional or in their social life. And this boy, his name is Nout. He was 11 years old when I first met him. And one of the programs that we were running was called Playing for Success. And this project was, it was originally designed in the UK. So I visited all like Arsenal and Chelsea and all those clubs in the UK as well. And we adapted like that program because it really fitted our policy and our core values back then. And this boy was really being bullied every day in his class, and he had trouble on a social and emotional level to keep up every day. So what happened was that every day he went to school with pain in his stomach. He was feeling sad. He was getting really insecure because he was bullied all the time and he couldn't cope with everything that happened in his class. And the whole purpose of Playing for Success was that you get emotional and practical education, like extra to your school, But instead of like doing math on paper, we did math based on the number of seats in the stadium, or based on the number on the back of the football players. We got football players in there to help them with their homework. The whole idea was to give them the feeling that they were special. Like the classes were also held like in the press room, so it was really like this. They felt really special. And at one point, I decided, like we ran like 12 different programs. And at one point, for different audiences, from disabled people to elderly people to the people like the youth like Nout. And at one point, I decided to create a hero magazine. So I created, like, I wanted to catch their stories. I wanted to give them a face. Literally, I wanted to give them a face. And so I interviewed from every project. I selected one person and I interviewed them, and I had them like professionally photographed. And if you like it, I can put a link in this video. It is in Dutch, but you can see like the essence of it. So what happened after of course I approached his parents first. And they were really open to do this interview because his mom she was a teacher herself. She really noticed a difference in his life after joining this program. He was more like confident. He was more up to date in his class, and he was in general like more standing in his own, more like centralizing in his own life. And we did that interview, and it inspired me so much that I thought, you know what? It really touched me that he was being bullied, and I feel it like coming up again now. And I wanted to help him with that. I wanted to, when I talk about leaving a legacy, I wanted, not for myself, but I wanted to use my intentions, the things that I could, like till that level that I could back then, use that to help him overcome this in his life. And so I worked with a couple of ambassadors back then. I attracted a rapper because I believe that everyone gets attracted by different kind of people. I attracted a popular skater, ice skating, and of course a football player. And then I thought, I want to ask him if he wants to be an ambassador as well. And I of course asked again his parents, because it would really mean something for him to be actively an ambassador for this department. So what happened was that I thought, he's being bullied in his class, right? Wow, what better can I do than go into his class? And he was doing his like, I don't know how you call it, like his presentation you do about certain topics. And of course he did it about PEC Zwolle United, and I worked with him to create that presentation. But he didn't know that I asked PEC Zwolle TV, so I like our TV community. I asked like one of our biggest players and ambassador as well to join me, to come to his class. So at one point we entered that class, and while he was doing his presentation, or after he was doing the presentation, and he was really surprised, and we asked him if he wanted to be a face of PEC Zwolle United, to help, to inspire other children, to share his story, to be like an example of someone who came from somewhere and worked his way up. And he was really, really surprised, and he was, of course, said yes immediately. He was like my best ambassador ever, by the way. And he was really emotional, but he was also very, very happy. And from that day on, he started he had to do signatures for his classmates. He was never bullied again, never ever. And by giving him, he was like, in the time I was working there, I think we worked really close together for 2 years as my ambassador before I left for another assignment. And his life has changed so much because of that. And I talked to him and to his mom afterwards, that this really made a difference in his life. It literally turned around his life, and he was facing like a new stage of his life. He went to like go from primary school to secondary school, and he was in the beginning very nervous about it, but after this period he wasn't anymore. And that's what I mean with leaving a legacy. Is, can you imagine what happened if I would have approached this from the place of my head? I could never ever created that impact on his life the way I could do now. And it's not me, it's not to put myself like in this position, but it's to show you that everything that comes from the heart is so much more impactful. And I wanted to give you another example, but I'm going to keep that for Thursday, because I noticed that I'm already talking 15 minutes. So I'm going to keep that for Thursday, because I really believe like talking now, the power of one story is better than two. And the message that I wanted to give you today is to consider, to really think about, like, am I approaching my life and my business from a place of knowledge or from a place of legacy? And hey, Kenemo, you're jumping in after 15 minutes. You missed the whole story. If you have time, please watch it back. I think you really love it. What I experienced is, and that is the message I want to give you today, sometimes it feels like you are working all the hours in a day and you might not find yourself making progress the way you think you should or you want to. Like, it's very simple and very easy, and everyone can build a business from knowledge. Build a business based on a system. And again, I'm not saying it's bad, but I think that everyone should consider what way works best for you. I decided to create leaving a legacy, to work from that. And sometimes, and I've been having a lot of conversations this week about that as well with people who advise me. I choose to walk on this path of heart business and legacy. And sometimes, and it makes me really emotional when I talk about it, and I'm not afraid to show that, sometimes it feels like you are walking that path alone. And the reason it makes me emotional is because I know that there are so many people out there that have the same intention and might feel lost or alone. And those are the people and the organizations and the leaders that I work for, because I really strongly believe that everything that we do from the heart is so much more powerful. And one of my good friends said to me this week, Merita, you could have chosen to walk the path of knowledge. If you would have done that, you would be a CEO of a really big company right now. But you decided to do differently. So it takes more time. No. One of the insights I had this week after a really intense meditation was that it takes so much more time to work on something from the heart, because it's so much deeper, and it's so much more fundamental, and it's so much more personal, that you need to go through this whole journey yourself before you are ready to give in the full extent that you know you can give. And sometimes it takes a lot of courage to stand by your own truth and to keep going, even though you sometimes feel like you're not moving forward. But sometimes you have to move inwards first to go forward again. And let me repeat that. Sometimes you have to go inwards first to be able to move forward again. And the real intention, like the real fulfillment that you are looking for, if you work from a place of legacy, is fulfillment in your heart. It's not on your bank account. It's in your heart. And You know how that feels? Waking up in the morning and knowing that you changed the life of a 12-year-old boy, or a 16-year-old girl, or a 35-year-old entrepreneur. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter the age. Well, the better, the earlier, the earlier, the better. But that feeling, knowing that you did everything in your power to help people on their journey with what they need at that moment, because you want to leave a legacy. You just don't want to like insert your knowledge, because that's not sustainable. And that feeling of waking up every morning knowing that you are the one doing that, that's amazing. And that's the fulfillment that a lot of people, I think that they want it, but they don't know how to do it. And don't get me wrong, it's a bumpy road. Because, and I've been giving this a lot of thought, like, why is this so much more complicated whilst it's so much more sustainable and so much more powerful? And I think that that has to do with that the world is getting ready for an approach like this. I strongly believe that I am here on this planet to help those authentic leaders, to help those leaders and those people and those entrepreneurs back to their authentic self, and from there build their business, build something that is so powerful, so impactful for the benefit of other people's lives, transformational. And if we look at the world right now, I could say that we are getting there, working on it, but there's still a lot of work to do, and that's where I see my own role. So to get back to the title, I wasn't expecting it to really hit me in the heart. So that's good, right? So leverage knowledge versus leaving a legacy. I think I made my point that leaving a legacy is all about intentions. It's about your heart intentions, and use your knowledge to do that, but don't let it lead you. Okay, wow, I see all the comments coming in. Ikenemo, yeah, there is still a lot of work to do. I really believe that, and I know, Ikenemo, you are like a real example of someone. I was just trying to paint a picture of like an avatar, and I know you, your biggest dream is, and I'm not going to say, because I don't know if it's out in the open yet, but I know that it is such a hard-driven and personal purpose that you are working towards too. And I think it's safe to say that there isn't a paved road, and that's my whole point. In if you are here to build something that personal, that big, that impactful from the heart, don't use systems to get there. Create your own track and use systems like where you can, and use your knowledge where you can. If you were driven by your knowledge, you wouldn't create like this amazing dream that you're building. That the only way you can do that and to get the real fulfillment that you need and the real motivation to keep going is when you do it from your heart. Okay, so that was it, guys. I hope to see you again on Thursday. And as I said, I wanted to give 2 examples of for me, like the reason why I do this. So I'm going to give the second one on Thursday. So we keep the power in one story. So if you, thank you. You're getting a little bit emotional. Yeah, me too. So yeah, it's good. It's good. Marielle, you says thank you. You're very welcome, my darling. I hope this was an inspiration. And if you like, in these videos, it's always really hard for me to. If I want to give you so much, but I can't. So I'm trying to give you like the highlights of these topics. And let me know if you want to know more. And thank you, Ikenemo. Glad you joined. Mind blowing. Well, thank you. So I hope you all have a good day, and I hope to see you again on Thursday on the live at 12 p.m. UK time again. And for now, I wish you all a good day. Bye.